Welcome to Slaughterhouse Stories. I hope you enjoy the story I have for you tonight. Waterlogged. I awoke to the sound of rushing water. Taking a glance at the hatch, I noticed that the water was seeping into the small room. I bolted to the porthole of the steel hatch. The hallway was filled to the brim with murky seawater. Pressing my face to the surface of the porthole, a crack appears in the thick, frigid glass. Taking a step back, the crack widens into a small rivet in the otherwise clear glass. My heart pounded as I considered my few options of my quickly fleeting life. Open the door and attempt to swim to the surface of the ocean in which the ship was sinking in, or wait to drown in the room as it flooded with water like a trapped rat. I made the logical decision of trying to survive and escape this prison. I placed my shaking hands on the cool metal of the hatch door as I twist the opening mechanism. I inhale what may be the final breath of oxygen I may take in my life as the hatch door opens and I am greeted by a bone-chilling wave of salt water. The numbing water instantly rushes around me. Heart skipping a beat, I dove into the water, swimming against the current of the water pouring into the lower decks of the sinking ship. I swam to the ladder leading to the deck of the boat. As I gripped the metal rungs of the ladder with my numb hands, I felt a slight tug at my ankle. Not wasting a split second of oxygen, I continued up the ladder. Reaching the top of the ladder, I propelled myself through the open hatch. The boat was about 25 feet under the surface of the ocean. My oxygen-deprived lungs protested to take a breath of the murky salt water. I felt so heavy, as if my body was held down by an invisible anchor. Every stroke I took towards the surface, I felt hands tightening around my lungs. I had learned to hold my breath for long periods of time from playing trumpet through high school, even as my oxygen supply diminished, as I moved as fluently as my incoherent brain tried to comprehend my need to survive and keep a steady pace as I moved through the frigid water. The light shining through the water was slowly growing brighter as I swam closer to the surface. I remember when I was a child, diving into the swimming pool after diving rings, chlorine from the pool stinging my eyes as I reached for the brightly colored rings. I felt the soft warmth of the sun's gentle beams pierce the ocean surface. I was almost there. Oxygen. I had been in the water for several eternities. Has it been days or years? Or has it been a breath? My lungs seemed like shriveled paper bags, an invisible noose choking me to my watery grave. The world is a dull haze, a teal haze. The salt and the cruel waves tormented my eyes. I felt so dizzy. The world spun in a salty teal haze. I gazed up at the sun through the waves of my prison. I gave one last paddle towards the surface, my fingertips inches away from the fresh air I so desperately craved. I reached upwards to pull myself above the surface of the water. I felt a soft tug at my ankle. My heart sank like the boat that damned me to this hell. I looked down and saw a chain cuffed to my ankle, leading down to the bottom of this watery prison. A chain. I was chained to the boat, the carriage to this inescapable purgatory. With my last ounce of energy, I inhaled a breath of salt-tainted water, lungs burning with the sensation of pain. Fire in a water of purgatory. Fire, the last thing I felt before I lost consciousness. That's it for tonight's story. But before we end things, check out the Slaughterhouse Stories podcast. Available at all your favorite podcast sites. So download and subscribe. Be a listener, not a victim. And as always, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed tonight's story, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay spooky.